What are your thoughts on Liverpool winning the Premier League this year?
Well, as a Chelsea supporter, obviously it's difficult.
This is the Bombay journey, and generally हम गाड़ी में चलाते चलाते ये बात करते हैं. तो आपके साथ जब एपिसोड सोचा तब जलसा के आगे से निकलना वाजिब ही होता. Hey Abhishek, how are you? How have you been?
Very good, thank you. All well.
Has it been exciting to kind of rekindle and have a bunch of time to be able to spend with family?
Oh, absolutely, it's been a blessing. All of us are very busy in our respective careers and professions, and it's wonderful to have the family all together under the same roof and get to spend some quality time together.
What do you guys do? What is the Bachchan family doing in quarantine?
We're a normal family. We do everything any normal family would do.
I have a football fanatic in my house, Pankaj Biyani, a very close friend of mine, and he says, what are your thoughts on Liverpool winning the Premier League this year?
Well, as a Chelsea supporter, obviously it's difficult, but I have to say, if there ever was a deserving team, it was Liverpool this season. I mean, utter dominance. I mean, let's not go by their performance day before night against Man City, but the fact to win it so early in the season and to do it with the kind of sheer dominance with which they did it is amazing. Liverpool is a club with such a heritage and legacy. To finally win something that they've been trying to for 30 years it's a great feat. You have to applaud them. I'm a huge football fan, but as a sports fan, I think sportsman spirit, you've got to give credit where it's due, and they utterly deserved it. And I hope it's their last, because obviously the Blues have to pull up their socks. But I think we've made some great signings for the summer. It's going to be a great, interesting season. It's going to be a very interesting season next year.
I just saw the trailer. मेरा काफी दिल दहला हुआ है. ऐसी script पढ़ के breathe into the shadows. What is the first thought that goes through one's mind?
When do we start shooting?
So how long from there to the time you were on set did the character then intrigue or play in your head?
Siddharth, I heard this script in early April 2018. I had just come back from shooting Man Marzia, and that's when Mayank and Vikram, the creators of the show, met me. And we were shooting it in November. So, just a couple of months and we were on set. From the minute I heard it, I just loved it. I loved the writing. I loved the material. I loved the way they developed the characters. I loved the emotional arc and journey and graph of the characters. Everything about it was just fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it.
We've been in quarantine for quite a bit. And Charades is the game that we've been playing with family. I think you've given us a new sort of one to go with. Can you do a Charades version of Breathe into the Shadows for me?
It's
4 words. First one. Breathe, okay. I probably know it, so I'm...
There you go. You get the rest of it. The idea is to choose good teammates.
Yes.
Who understand you.
Are you somebody who binges or watches thrillers and horror films?
No, I don't like horror films. I've never liked them, no. So no, not a big fan of horror, no.
This one...
Thrillers, yes, they're different. Yeah, thrillers I enjoy. A well-written, taut thriller is, I think, very exhilarating to watch.
You play a psychiatrist or a psychologist in Breathe?
A psychiatrist.
So, is bringing jargon important to a story like this? And how do you then go back into the books for something like
this? Not just jargon. I think to be as authentic as possible and realistic as possible is imperative. Because this is one medium which is very particular about that. There are very little liberties you can take on this medium.
How is it different shooting for the two mediums? And if you could go into this...
It's not. The only thing different is you possibly shoot a web show for a longer period. Traditionally, Hindi film, we get between 2 to 3 hours to make a film. That's the average duration. Breathe into the Shadows is a 12-episode show, so it's about almost 12 hours. So it's like making 4 films.
What kind of nervousness does an actor go through, or what is the anticipation if the question has to be rephrased? And is that different then between a web series? Because
I've been thinking about it. No, there's a lot of media that's been asking me that, you don't have the pressure of your opening day and your weekend box office. But I don't really agree with that. The pressure is the same because at the end of the day, you want the audiences to watch your work and like your work. I just hope that I'm able to convince my audience in whichever role I do. I think that's most important. I think in today's day and age, especially, I think actors need to be able to convince their audience that, okay, they've inhabited the character correctly. So I think the pressure is absolutely the same because you want to reach out to as many people as possible and you want them to like your work, which is the same in cinema. So it's exactly the same.
Tell me this, and this is from the perspective of films that get compared and web series get compared, and you're playing this protagonist where it's almost like an anti-hero, right? And we've seen the rise of such characters. And Bollywood's always believed in projection and how the actor is perceived. So when you're picking a role, does that thought ever come?
No, I'm an actor. My job is to act, and I want to do as like I told you, as varied as possible. So no, that's never been a criteria for me. A good role is a criteria.
So kya pack up hote hi, you're snapping out of character?
Well, not entirely. I think that's almost inhuman. But you do your best to do that. And, like I've always said, Mumbai traffic ensures that you get enough time to snap out of your character. So whenever you wrap, you've got a good 2-hour commute back home. So yeah, you get plenty of time to snap out of it.
Thank you for bringing Bombay and Mumbai into the picture. This is the Bombay journey, and generally हम गाड़ी में चलाते चलाते ये बात करते हैं. तो आपके साथ जब एपिसोड सोचा था जलसा के आगे से निकलना वाजिब ही होता. So I've been asking all the celebrities to promise me that we're going to do this again, where we drive around the city doing this. Bombay.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to.
But I'll ask you a bunch of Bombay questions. You're a full front Bombay guy. I mean, what have you seen change in the 20 years of acting or before?
Well, I'm born and brought up here. Still live in the same neighborhood that I was born in, which is Juhu, which is a northern suburb of Mumbai for the people who are not from Mumbai. I think what has changed about Mumbai, I think the population for sure. I remember as a kid, Juhu was the edge of Mumbai, and if you had to go north from here, you had to get onto the highway and then go north. I remember playing as a child outside the gate of our house, and there was just marshes ahead of that, and buffaloes used to be bathing and stuff. So I think there's obviously a lot more people that have come in, but the wonderful thing about Mumbai is it just kind of rolls with the punches, it doesn't change much. People come in and adapt to Mumbai. Mumbai never adapts to anybody. And so I just think there's a lot many more people than there were, and because of that, we have a slight issue with traffic and congestion, but apart from that, it's the same.
Are you a foodie, Abhishek? Do you binge?
Oh yes, very much.
Bombay के कुछ खाने बताओ जो पसंद है.
Well, I think street food is what Mumbai is famous for. So be it pav bhaji or vada pav or misal fry or usal, big fan of all of that. So all the canteens and all the studios know what I like. So misal is a personal favorite. Eating put down Vadli Sea Face in the rains was something my father used to take me to do. Haji Ali Juice Center, natural ice cream. These are all things, and obviously then you go and have a nice pani puri somewhere, and if your parents got to know that you had pani puri from the street, you're in trouble because you're not sure if the water is safe or not. So Mumbai is the hub for junk food. And I'm a huge junk food addict, so I have a great time with it.
What would you like to say about the culture of the city? I think it brings about a lot of many cultures together. Anything that you find?
Yeah, Mumbai truly is a melting pot of sorts. And I think most financial capitals of any country are. There's a lot of work that is generated out of Mumbai. So it's only natural that a lot of people immigrate into the city and from different parts of the country and the world looking for opportunity and the job. Keeping that in mind, so you have a wonderful mixture of different cultures. Mumbai has a language of its own. Mumbaiya Hindi is unique, and to the Puritans, it's terrible to listen to, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's a very unique culture which is particular just to the city.
With words, Kasakai.
Well, Kasakai is Maharashtrian, but it's wonderful because there's a mixture of Gujarati, Marathi, Hindi, English. So we have unique slang, we have unique ways of speaking. There's a unique accent. So it's nice.
For the Hindi-speaking audiences, the character in Breathe, there is you never get to see the location. You can't distinctively tell what place it's based in.
It's based in New Delhi.
So Delhi
yeah, Avinash Sabarwal is a Delhi boy. He's married to a South Indian wife, Abha, which is played by Nitya Menon. The entire show is based in Delhi.
You think with OTT we're sort of also bridging borders and kind of casting a very good range of actors from across the country? Nitya?
Oh, absolutely. That's because the requirements for streaming platforms are totally different to cinema. So there's been a wonderful influx of fresh new talent, which is so wonderful. You get to work with such great actors. Nitya has just been a revelation. She's outstanding. Amit, is a friend of mine. I've known his work from before. Is also so fantastic. But even if you take Sayami, if you take Rishikesh Joshi or Vikranta, all these guys, all the actors are just brilliant at what they do, and it's so wonderful that I get the opportunity to be part of a project where I get to just observe these guys and learn so much.
Speaking of the learnings, and you've done such larger than life characters, right? With Dhoom or Bunty or Bubbly or Guru. What are the kind of unlearnings do you have to go through to come and do justice to OTT or something like a series like this?
Well, I'm not sure if unlearning is the process. I think if you're aware of the style required, I think that is a better way to put it. I'd like to believe actors are very malleable, or at least they should attempt to be. I personally would not like to be in a situation where I had to unlearn certain things to be able to perform a role convincingly. I'd like to believe that I'm observant enough and intelligent enough to be able to adapt to a particular role. Because that, in a sense, is also part of what you need to do, right? So I thankfully haven't had any issues with that. But I understand your question. And it's a very interesting question because there are some highly stylized actors or style of performance that we use traditionally in Hindi cinema, which might not carry water on an OTT platform. So yes, it is. You have to make a conscious effort to be able to be that much more realistic in your performance. Hindi cinema is fantastical. Hindi cinema is escapist. Streaming platforms are the complete opposite of that. So your performance can't have any melodrama in it. It can't have any theatrics in it. It has to be as believable and realistic as possible. So I think actors have to be ready for that.
What's the first thing you're going to do when you're out of the quarantine time?
Well, I've been out and about, to be very honest, for the last 2 weeks. Ever since they've started the unlock, I've been going to dubbing for the English dub of Breathe. As you know, Breathe Into the Shadows is going to be rolled out in over 200 countries in several different languages. English is one of them, and since I speak English, I'm dubbing my voice over in English. So I've been doing that. So for the last 2 weeks, I do get up in the morning and go for dubbing, and I've been going back to work. I think most people will want to do is get back to work. So yeah, I've been lucky enough.
All right. Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you, my man. Thank you so much. Thank you for talking, and be safe.
You too, Baba. All right.
Take care.